My husband said serve my mistress or leave, so I packed his bags instead. I was only 21 years old when my husband, who was almost 10 years my senior, told me that I wasn't feminine enough. For him, I was too tomboyish, and he wanted someone more submissive. To show him what he was missing, I decided to transform myself completely and become the perfect little housewife. But even after all my efforts, he still didn't appreciate me. He said that I had to serve his mistress or leave him, and so I did the only thing I could do. I packed his bags and left. It had always been my dream to become a writer, but my parents opposed it because they wanted me to have a stable job. So I never even finished high school when I met my ex-husband. He told me that he would support me in becoming a writer, but after I gave birth to our son, he stopped encouraging me and started criticizing me for not being feminine enough. He wanted me to stay at home and take care of the household while he pursued his career. Even though I had dreamed of becoming a writer for as long as I could remember, I gave up on my dreams for my ex-husband. I scrubbed floors, cooked meals, took care of our son, and waited for him to come home every day. But after 5 years of marriage, he came home one day with a woman by his side and announced that I needed to accept them both because he was in love with her. At first, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I thought that he was joking, but his eyes were serious. He told me that I wasn't feminine enough for him, but she was. So now he wanted us both to live together. I refused to accept them both, so he told me that I had to choose between the two of us. He asked me if I was going to make him choose, then I chose him. He called me selfish and told me that I wasn't thinking about his happiness. Then he said that I had to accept his new girlfriend or leave him. It was clear that he no longer loved me, so I packed his things and left. When he called me selfish, I really felt like it. But when he asked me to choose between him and his mistress, I knew that I had to leave. No one should have to put up with being treated like that. I was angry, but mostly I was sad. We had 5 years of memories together. It wasn't just him and I, but also our son. He was only 3 years old and didn't know anything about what was happening. All he knew was that his father had left us, and that made me feel even worse. However, something kept pushing me to move forward. I knew that I had to be strong for myself, and most importantly for my son. I found an apartment and got a job as a waitress. It wasn't easy, but I was determined to make a better life for myself and my son. One day, while I was washing dishes at the restaurant where I worked, I met an amazing woman named Sarah. She was an editor at a publishing house, and we immediately became friends. Sarah encouraged me to submit my stories to magazines and newspapers, and soon my work began to appear in print. I was finally living my dream. I was a writer. A year passed and my son and I were doing well. He was in kindergarten and I was getting invitations to give lectures at schools and universities. One day I got a call from my ex-husband. He asked me how I was doing and I told him that I was fine. He asked me if I was still writing and I told him that I was. Then he asked me if I could meet him. I knew what he wanted. He wanted me to get back together with him. But after everything he put me through, I didn't think that I could ever trust him again. I told him that I couldn't meet him because I was busy. He called me selfish and hung up. I didn't hear from him again until one day I saw him at one of my lectures. He approached me afterwards and told me that he wanted to apologize for how he treated me. He said that he was sorry and that he still loved me. He begged me to take him back, but I refused. He was shocked when I told him that I didn't love him anymore. He tried to convince me to change my mind, but I was firm in my decision. I didn't want to waste any more time on him. After the lecture, he followed me out of the building. He blocked my way and told me that I wouldn't find another man who would love me as much as he did. I told him that I didn't need his love and pushed past him to get away. He grabbed my arm and told me that I would regret leaving him, but I didn't. And as I turned to leave, I heard him say, "You'll never be happy without me." I continued walking until I reached my car. I got in and drove away without looking back. Thank you for listening. If you like this emotional family revenge story, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you won't miss any new stories.